Welcome to MindSwitch Books. Today, we are diving into a book that might just fundamentally change how you approach your goals, your work, and honestly, your life. It's called The One Thing by Gary Keller. You know, this simple proverb right here holds the powerful secret we're about to unlock. Let me ask you something. Do you ever feel completely overwhelmed? Like your to-do list is a mile long, you're busy all day, spread super thin, but at the end of it all, you just don't feel like you've made any real progress on what truly matters? Yeah, we've all been there. It sounds completely backward, I know, but what if it's true? In this explainer, we're going to reveal the one simple truth that the world's most successful people use to get extraordinary results. The big promise here is that by narrowing your focus, you can actually dramatically expand your success. If you've ever seen the movie City Slickers, you know this scene. The wise old cowboy, Curly, holds up one finger, and he tells Billy Crystal's character, one thing. Just one thing. You stick to that, and everything else don't mean shit. The million-dollar question, of course, is, what is that one thing? So how do we find our one thing? Well, here's our game plan. First, we're going to expose the common lies about success that are secretly holding us all back. Then we'll get into the astonishing power of the domino effect. After that, we hit the core of it all, the one simple question that changes everything. And finally, we'll show you how to start your very own chain reaction. You know, we've all been told certain truths about how to be successful. But the problem is, as Mark Twain famously said, it ain't what you don't know that gets you into trouble. It's what you know for sure that just ain't so. So let's start dismantling some of that faulty common sense. The book points out 6 key lies that are sabotaging our success without us even realizing it. Things like everything matters equally, or that multitasking is a good thing, or you need a balanced life. I mean, they sound right, they feel right, but they are driving us in the completely wrong direction. Let's tackle the biggest ones head on. Oh, this one is huge. It's the tyranny of the to-do list, right? We're taught to believe that a super long list with everything checked off equals a successful day. But here's the hard truth. Activity is not the same as productivity. Being busy doesn't mean you're actually getting results. The reality is something called the 80-20 principle. You might have heard it called Pareto's principle. And what it says is that there's a profound imbalance in pretty much everything. A small minority of your efforts, we're talking just 20%, is likely creating the vast majority of your results. So the goal isn't to do more things, it's to find that vital few, that 20%, and pour all your energy into it. And this gets to the huge difference between a regular to-do list and what the book calls a success list. A to-do list, that's just a brain dump of everything you could do. But a success list, now that's a focused game plan for the very few things you absolutely should do to hit your biggest goals. All right, the next big lie, and it feeds right off the first one, is the myth of multitasking. We've been told it's this amazing skill we should all have, a way to get more done in less time. But you know what? The science is crystal clear. It's a total lie. I absolutely love this quote because it's just so brutally honest. Researchers at Stanford literally studied high multitaskers, thinking they had some kind of secret mental superpower. They found the exact opposite. The lead researcher, Clifford Noss, didn't pull any punches. He said high multitaskers are suckers for irrelevancy and are, and I'm quoting here, lousy at everything. Ouch! See, in reality, we're not multitasking at all. We're just task switching. And all that constant switching back and forth comes at a massive cost. Think about it. Our attention is like a spotlight, and every time we switch, it has to power down on one thing and then power back up on another. Researchers estimate we lose an average of 28% of our workday to this. 28%! That's more than a quarter of your day, just gone. Okay, so if doing everything and multitasking are just lies, then what's the truth? Well, the book argues that extraordinary success isn't about juggling everything at once. No, it's sequential. It's all about lining up your dominoes. We all get the basic idea of a domino effect, right? But the real magic is in the physics. A single domino has a little bit of potential energy, but line them up and you create a powerful chain reaction. And here's the key discovery from physicist Lauren Whitehead. That chain isn't just limited to same-sized things. One small domino can start a reaction that topples bigger and bigger and bigger things. And this is where it gets absolutely mind-blowing. If each domino is just 50% larger than the one before it, the power just grows exponentially.
The 18th domino in the chain would be as tall as the Leaning Tower of Pisa. The 23rd would be taller than the Eiffel Tower. The 31st would loom over Mount Everest. And the 57th domino, it would practically stretch from the Earth all the way to the moon. This just shows how one small, correct action, your very first domino, followed by the next, can lead to results that are almost beyond imagination.
So, if success is a chain reaction, the big question is, how do you find that first, most important domino? How do you cut through the noise of 1,000 things you could do to find the one thing you absolutely should do? Well, the book gives us one incredibly simple and powerful tool to do just that. This right here is the focusing question. I'd read it again. It's the simple, elegant question the author created to help his teams get massive results. And it's really the heart of the entire book. It forces you to connect what you're doing right now with what you really want, and it helps you find the single most powerful action you can possibly take. The absolute genius of this question is that it does two things at once. The first part, what's the one thing, forces you to go small, to really focus. But the second part, such that by doing it everything else will be easier or unnecessary, that forces you to think big, to connect your tiny action to your huge goal. By answering this, you're building a success list, not a to-do list. You're finding your first domino. Okay, this is where the rubber meets the road. Let's look at how you can apply this stuff immediately to start building your own incredible domino effect, whether it's in your career, your business, your health, really any part of your life. It really comes down to these 3 commitments. First, go small. Focus on being productive, not just being busy. Second, go extreme. Apply that 80-20 rule to your 80-20 rule. What's the 20% of the 20%? Keep drilling down until you have the single most important action. And third, and this is the hardest part for a lot of us, say no. You have to protect your time and your focus like a fortress until that one thing is done. The legendary coach Vince Lombardi knew it. So the main takeaway here is this. Extraordinary results are directly determined by how narrow you can make your focus. It's about having the clarity to line up all your dominoes, and then having the courage to put all your energy into knocking over that very first one. So we've given you the framework, but the real power comes from asking yourself this question, not just once, but every single day. What's your one thing for your career this year? For your health this month? For your most important project this week? What's your one thing right now? To really master this and build your own amazing domino effect, you need the full playbook. The strategies for how to time block your one thing, for using this question to find your life's purpose, for living by priority, it's all detailed step by step inside the book. And that's the difference between just knowing the idea and actually living the results. Thank you so much for watching this summary on MindSwitch Books. If you found this valuable, please subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into life-changing books. And to start your journey to extraordinary results today, click the link in the description to get your copy of The One Thing. Until next time, keep switching your mind for the better.
Thanks for watching. If this video was helpful to you, share it with someone who might benefit from it, and consider subscribing to the channel. I'll leave the link to purchase this book below in the description. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.